That's my choir. Oh, Lord. I thought I couldn't be lifted any higher. God keeps lifting me higher and higher. Oh, I wanted y'all to hear in the land of I am, because that's what I want you to focus on. I want you to know that we are living in the land of I am. You can call it Wakanda, you can call it Oakley, you can call it Walnut Creek, whatever. This is the land of I am. That we need to wake up to. So we're going to start right now by turning to your neighbor. This is your touch and agree. You don't have to get up out of your seat. You just simply turn to your right or your left, if there's nobody to the right of you, and say, good morning, God. It's good to see you. Good morning, God. It's good to see you. That's right. Good morning, God. It's good to see you. All right, we don't have to talk about last night's party and this afternoon's dinner. We just want to acknowledge the I am in each other, yes? How'd that feel? Good, 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 good. Let's talk about waking up first. So now that you have waken up, awakened to who you are, that means that part of that process of awakening to you are is not only to praise God in all of his excellence, because God is so excellent, there isn't even a word that is enough to express God's excellence. But in order for us to embody the I am that lives and moves and has its beingness in, through, and as us, we need to do the first step that was part of what they say in the story was Jesus's beginning of his completion process. Because you know a completion process comes in sevens. And so they say that the first of the 7 last words was, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. See? You know what? I've been working in San Diego for the last 5-6 weeks. And somebody said something. They said, oh, I don't want to get yelled at. And I said, well, when did you get yelled at? I said, was somebody yelling at you? And they said, no. And I said, look, child, because, you know, they didn't know nothing about metaphysics until I got in there real close and intimate with this group. And I said, look, don't be bringing your old patterns into this new situation. Oh, I don't think that was for him. I think that was for you. Seriously, I just got that this moment. Don't bring your old patterns into this new situation. You know, good experiences make for positive input, and it makes us lighter and more optimistic. And bad experiences burden us and are detrimental and toxic. So I'm inviting you to lose the burden. A Course in Miracles says holding grievances is an attack on God's plan. You know, there was something going on back in the day when people were putting Jesus on the cross. And I have to tell you, I have an issue with crosses. They bother me. I've done a lot of work around them, but I'm okay now. No, y'all think I'm playing. I would run out of big churches like in Europe and stuff where they had those big, huge crosses. I'm like, oh, no. I got to get out of here because this looks like danger. But you know what? There's so much of these inner crosses that we continue to carry, thinking that we have to bear this burden just because we're in this human form, and that's what they told us. Don't believe everything everybody tell you. Because, you know, I've had to heal over that cross. And, you know, I'm continuing to have to heal over and over and over again. In San Diego, somebody was talking about going to a tiki bar. I said, tiki? Ooh. Florida came in my mind, and I was like, oh, no. I'm not healed over tiki yet. You know, you have certain trigger words that occur that you're not aware of until you're feeling that energy kind of shift, and you're like, there's still something there. So I'm inviting you not to get hung up on the cross. You don't need to go through no crucifixion experiences just to prove that you're a martyr. It's okay. We know your excellence because we know that you are the expression of God. So that also includes letting go of any poor self-images that you have about yourself. Breathe. I'm going to let you sit with that a minute. We're not going to gloss over that. You know, if you've got grief, if you've got abandonment concerns, I'm not going to call them issues because issues makes it sound like it's your problem and not mine. I've had that. I might still have some. Don't leave me. I gotta tell you this. I ran into Carol in the nail salon yesterday. She said some people got up out of the service that they were in and came over here to East Bay when I was speaking last time. I said, you know, we need some seatbelts for those people when they get here, and we're going to make sure that they don't leave. But like in the movie A Wrinkle in Time, Meg was the young girl. She had all kinds of abandonment issues. She had all kinds of self-image issues that she hadn't worked through. But, you know, we get so comfortable in our misery, we think that's where we're supposed to live. When we don't... We don't want to stretch ourselves unless the possibility of us getting what we really want is at hand. And I know you want to be in the land of I am, so I know you're going to want to forgive. I know that this built-up toxicity that you have, that you want out of your body, out of your mind, out of your entire dimensions of being. And so I know that we've all made unhealthy choices. Forgive yourself for those choices. Create the space for new perspectives that can lead to the real transformation that your soul has come here to reveal. Because when you said yes to this human incarnation, you made a contract with your soul. You made a contract saying, I am willing to move from here to a greater space. Ernest Holmes said, we believe the ultimate goal of life is to be free from all discord. And this can be attained by all of us. It didn't say one group of people. It didn't say one economic class. It didn't say one race. It didn't say one country. It said all of us. So forgiveness is number one. Today, you will be with me in paradise. See, we are in this together. Don't be concerned about what folks say about your destiny. You know, people always talk about, stay woke. First, you got to wake up. When Jesus is on the cross and he looks over at his homeboy and he's like, dude, you don't have to be all angst out because today you will be with me in paradise. See, what he's telling him is that you don't need to be caught up in this experience that you're going through right now. You get to own your inner peace. Say to your neighbor, own your inner peace. Now say it to yourself. Jesus did not allow the crucifixion experience to put him back to sleep. Oh, okay. So, you know, you wake up in the middle of the night and you go, oh, I'm not ready to be woke yet. Let me turn over and go back to sleep. No, that's not an option. Once you have been awakened, you cannot go back to sleep. I mean, really woke. That's why we can say, Stephan Clark, today you will be with me in paradise. Not simply because he is in a different realm, but because anyone like him who is expecting more experiences like him must know that paradise is an option. And when we start focusing on paradise rather than being gunned down in our own backyard, then we can start to really attract that experience into our lives. Could you use a little paradise in your life? I'm just saying. Rise up. It's time to rise up. Didn't somebody sing about that this morning? Behold your son. Son, behold your mother. This is an opportunity for us to expand our idea of family. Okay, expand that your family is more than your birth family. It's the community in which you live. It's the community in which you praise God. It's the community in which you function, where you move, all places where you go. You are meeting your family. See, this is Passover too. And when Miriam put her baby in that basket, she didn't know what was going to happen to her baby. When Miriam put that baby in the basket, she did not expect that the princess was going to be finding her baby. She was just trying to keep her child alive. Thank you. Okay. Y'all see me up here struggling, huh? I'll take that. I just didn't breathe when I should, and I got choked. It's all right. You ain't got to worry about me. See, even the Pharaoh's family became part of her family, and that was the family that was trying to kill her baby in the first place. Think about that. God works it all out. I want y'all to know this. So even if you are hanging in the middle of the air with stab wounds in your side and nails in your head, that's not your divine destiny. Because they got it twisted. God never forsakes anybody. I'm so glad I had a teacher to teach me some Aramaic. Yes. No, baby. Yes. My God, for this I was born. Yes. is the correct phrasing. That's the real deal as to what he said. He was attuned to his divine destiny. He was clear that this was part of the process of his soul's unfoldment. He was clear that this was a part of his resurrection. See, you can't get up unless you're down somewhere. So understand that, as the Course in Miracles say, miracles can only be seen in the light. And unless you are aware and awakened to the light that is in your being, that is your very being, then you cannot be able to embrace the who I am that you came to be. So you came here to represent God. Ernest Holmes says, we believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. This is part of rising up. You got to wake up that it's there in the first place. Don't just sing these songs and recite these words. Understand that you have an opportunity to embody them and not simply recite them. I thirst. What you really want is more God. That's what Jesus was talking about. He was like, I'm not trying to be tuned in to this pain. I thirst for more you. I thirst for more grace. I thirst for more love. We all do. We all are looking past that mind-body confusion for some assurance. They call it blessed assurance. For some assurance that more God is available to me. And of course it is. You know, when you have mind-body confusion, you are hungering for more energy, for more nourishment, for more harmony, for more rhythm, for more balance in your life. So we want to replace that hunger with fulfillment. You know, we're thirsting to be reconciled with the ultimate reality. Not that we're trying to shuffle off the mortal coil, but we just want to be in communion. And I'm not talking about a little wafer. I'm talking about communion in spirit. I'm talking about being the body of Christhood and not simply ingesting an idea that, oh, this might be nice for my soul. But y'all not hearing me. Feed yourself with a connection to a better self-image. Because when you know who you are, then there are no concerns. You are hungering because you are standing at the doorway to the best journey of your life. See, I was crying when they were singing, "The best is yet to come," not because I thought it was me, but because I thought that the best of my life is yet to come. I need you to know that too. And I know it's true because it's nothing but God that brought me here. You know, but I had to follow. I had to take these steps. You know, the African proverb said, lions don't just dream of hunting. They hunt. They go for what they need, what they want, what their essence is craving. They go for that, which is why I'm in ministry. The students of Parkland were thirsting for what they know to be true. That gun violence is not our new normal. That This is not an acceptable way for us to live. You know, when you are able to stand and mobilize so many people across the country and across the globe, there is truth that is imminent, that is ready, that is compelled, that is thirsting to speak truth to power. Perceived power, it's not real power. Hear me now. The power, the real power is within you. Then you can say, it is finished. Then you can say, you know what, I'm tired of this nonsense. I'm not playing with you no more. I'm done with this frustration. I'm done with this struggle. It's not necessary. You know what? Fighting with yourself never worked, did it? So don't just fight against a habit. Don't just fight against, don't just get caught up in these conflicts, that you had with, this community or that community or this merger or this maybe something gonna happen or whatever that is. Did I say not to bring your old patterns into this new experience? Thank you for being here today. I'm serious about that. I am no longer limited by the effects of this world is basically what he was saying. This ain't got nothing on me. You gonna come up in my schools, you gonna come up in my church. See, when I looked at those children, I lasted about 2 minutes before that boy said, what you want, priests and ministers and imams to come up in the pulpit with guns now? I'm like, see, that's when I started crying. I'm letting y'all know now, I don't care what you do, I ain't gonna pack nothing for nobody. Guns are not part of my truth, and it's not part of our abundant living that our Christ is calling for. I'm not talking about Christ the man, I'm talking about the Christ in us is calling for more abundant life. So now it's time to stand up. Now that you have shared the heaviness that you have been accumulating, it's time to stand up. Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. See, I know what that's about. I know a little something about that. Into your hands I entrust my spirit, is what I say on a regular basis, maybe not with those words, but certainly in that inner dialogue that I have with the I am. Father, into your hands I give my spirit. I don't know nothing about nothing. Be clear about that. That's why we're going vision. It's not an option. Vision is getting the information from your source. Visioning is commending your spirit into God's hands. When I moved to California, when I was in Chicago, they were like, oh, you're so brave. You moved all the way across the country. I'm like, I'm just doing what I need to do. Then I moved back to Chicago and opened up a church from nothing. They said, oh, you're so brave. I'm just doing what I'm told to do. I didn't know till later I was just stupid. Courage wasn't a consideration. They said, God said, apply to East Bay. And I said, oh, okay. I guess we're making another move. So yes, Father, into your hands I deliver my spirit. It's yours. I know some of y'all are visual learners. So I'm going to make it plain. And this is help for maybe some of our senior seasoned members here. In case you have problems getting up out of a seat, I'm going to show you how it's done. So first thing you do is you move to the edge of the chair. See, moving to the edge of the chair is like forgiveness, because forgiveness is that edge, that place you don't want to go to, that place you're afraid what might happen if you go there. Then the second thing you got to do is spread your legs apart. You see, you got to spread your legs apart. That's expanding your view beyond what you've been looking at, so that you can see the divine vision for your life. Then you got to put your strong foot back. See, everybody think you're supposed to put your strong foot forward and then you fall over and everything. But your strong foot needs to be in a position for you to move through whatever that thought is that's in your way. And then you got to lean into God. Leaning into God is what lets God know you're paying attention and you're ready to move. And so in order for you to stand up, the last thing you do is to let your butt lift. Let your bottom lift. Those bottom moments that you had get lifted. Those times when they told you that you weren't enough, get lifted. Those times when they told you that you were the wrong color, get lifted. Those times when they said that your gender is not appropriate for this position, get lifted. Those times when they said that your country was not your country, because even though you were a native and got kicked out of your land, that it is still not your country, that's the bottom that needs to get lifted. You know what I'm talking about. When they told you that you were an abomination because you're an LGBT, that's the bottom that gets lifted. When they told you that you were not acceptable, not even in our military because you're a transgender, that's the bottom that needs to be lifted. When they told you that your religion is some kind of airy-fairy and it ain't got nothing to do with real God, that's when your bottom gets lifted. You are not inferior. You are not needy. You are not broke. Your disrespected moments are behind you. Your dishonored moments are behind you. Your divorce is behind you. Your unfaithful spouse is behind you. All of that is behind you so that you can stand up. So when the choir was singing, Mary, don't you know? Here this woman is standing outside the tomb just crying. She decided to peek into the tomb and see two angels, one where Jesus' head was, one where Jesus' feet was, so that represents the feet of understanding. Sometimes you might have to take off your shoes to get a better understanding. But your mind represents that space where the divine download can occur. The messengers are there waiting. It was that that made her turn around and see Jesus standing there. And she mistaken Jesus for the gardener. Talking about, you know what they did with him? And he's like, Mary, don't you know me? And she's like, Rabini, my rabbi. He's like, but you know, we ain't got to do this whole body hug thing and all of that. Because I'm ascending. I'm going to my Father. Now that I have rose, I am standing here with you on my way to be ascended. You are on your way to be ascended. I don't care about your tomb experience. We are now awake. We have risen. People writing all over social media, Jesus has risen. I wrote, I am risen. Say to your neighbor, I am risen. And now that you've risen and you've stood up, it's time to ascend. Let's go higher, y'all.